My name is Diche Enoa, and I've had many good years, but 2022 was a really good year for me. It started in the first week of the year when Pastor K had declared that it was the year of the Lord. And I was just meditating on it, and I just decided that I'm not really going to have any plans for the year. I mean, it's the year of the Lord, so He knows what the plans are. He knows how He wants the year to go. But I decided in my heart that I would do something for Him at the beginning of the year and then just literally hand the year over to Him afterwards. And so I decided that the series, Just Us Girls series, which Pastor M had been longing and desiring to do for the Just Us Girls ministry, I decided that this would be a good year to finally do it. So I spoke to my business partner, who's also a director, and I spoke to MJ, who's also a producer. And so I had a conversation with them, and I said, I think this is the year where we should do this series. And so 2 or 3 days later, Pastor M reached out and said, Udiche, I think we should do the Just Us Girls series this year. And I just laughed because in my mind, I was like, Mama, I'm already way ahead of you. And so we started planning. First of all, the budget was ridiculous. It was in millions, and I had no idea how that was going to happen. Apart from that, it also meant that I would not be able to do any secular work for at least 4 months because the scripting, pre-production, and all of that, rehearsals, auditions, everything was going to take a long time. And so I asked, because there was a concern in my heart, and so I asked God about it, and He gave me a word, said, I'm your shepherd, you shall not want. But then I have a business partner, and so I had to have a conversation with her as well, and I told her about it, and she said, okay, she was going to go and pray. And she came back the next day and said God had told her, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all other things shall be added unto you. And so for us, we agreed, and it was a go. So we started writing, we started planning, we got some calls from, big producing companies. In fact, there was a celebrity who wanted to turn her biography into a Netflix film, and she had reached out to us, and we had to turn it down because we really were committed to doing this series. And so from January to April, we spent all that time doing it, how God funded it, volunteers, how we put 40 people, lodged 40 people for 6 weeks. Every day was like manna falling directly from heaven. It was a testimony on its own. That the series came out and is successful is a whole testimony on its own. And afterwards, it was done, and I was like, God, now it's up to you. And the first thing that God did was I got to travel, all expense paid, to Dubai. I didn't spend a dime. It was as if God said, okay, you've done my work, come and go and rest. And hotel room, tours, everything, all paid. Afterwards, I came back, and there were 2 films that we wanted to do this year. That's from our own company, our own production house, Writers in Concept. We wanted to do 2 films, and God brought on partners and investors that made them so easy. In fact, one of the scripts we had written 4 years ago, and we didn't have the funding for it because it was too expensive to make. So we put it aside, but this year, God made it possible. He brought partners and investors that made it so easy to make, even bigger than we had planned or imagined. And afterwards, I got a scholarship for a course in producing and business of film. And this was a course that I ordinarily would not have been able to pay for because we had Hollywood lecturers come in all the way from LA to come and teach us. So I had the opportunity to interact with Hollywood producers, screenwriters, directors, the contacts that I got, the connections. It was amazing. Afterwards, it was one thing after another. I don't even want to go into all the material blessings that God brought my way this year. This year, letting God plan my year was the best thing that I ever could have done. 2022, God showed me that if I let Him be my shepherd, not only will I not want, but He will make me lie down in green pastures. 2022 was indeed the year of the Lord.